Let's rewind a bit to understand why this is such a big deal. Remember the original iMac Pro? Launched in 2017, it was Apple's answer to pros who needed workstation-level performance without the bulk of a tower. It packed Intel Xeon processors with up to 18 cores, Radeon Pro Vega graphics, and that iconic space gray finish. But then, poof, discontinued in March 2021. Why? Apple was shifting to its own silicon, the M-series chips, and the Mac Studio and Mac Pro filled the high-end gap. Or so we thought. Fast forward to late 2025 and leaks start trickling out. Apple's internal kernel debug kits. These are tools engineers use to test unreleased hardware, accidentally get released, and eagle-eyed developers spot code names like J833C paired with H17C. What does that mean? J833C screams iMac family, and H17C? That's Sotra C, the internal name for what we now know as the M5 Max chip. Boom, the evidence of an iMac with M5 Max silicon. Not just any iMac, but one that's clearly positioned as a pro machine. And it's not stopping there. Reports from supply chain insiders in Korea and Taiwan confirm Apple's gearing up for production. Now, picture the display, because that's where the magic starts. Leaks point to a massive 30 to 32-inch mini LED panel. That's bigger than the current 24-inch iMac, harking back to the old 27-inch model size but cranked up to 11. Mini LED means thousands of local dimming zones for insane contrast, deep blacks, and HDR that pops. We're talking up to 2000 nits of sustained brightness. That's 4 times brighter than today's iMac in HDR mode. And get this, 120 Hz per motion refresh rate, smooth scrolling, buttery animations, and responsiveness that feels like touching the future. No more lag in your timelines or choppy previews. Resolution, 6K, baby. That's over 20 million pixels. Perfect for photographers, videographers, and designers who need pixel-perfect accuracy. Oh, and an optional nanotexture glass to cut glare by 60%. Say goodbye to reflections ruining your color grading sessions. But wait, what's powering this monster? The M5 Max chip, built on TSMC's advanced 3nm process. That's smaller transistors for more efficiency and raw power. Leaks suggest it's a beast. Up to 40 CPU cores, a mix of performance and efficiency. A GPU that could hit 80 cores, and a neural engine that's twice as fast for AI tasks. Think about it, running machine learning models for photo enhancement, or accelerating video encoding with hardware that's optimized for Apple's ecosystem. Compared to the M4 Max in today's MacBook Pros, this M5 Max is rumored to be 30% faster in multi-core tasks and 25% more efficient, meaning longer sessions without the fan kicking in like a jet engine. And speaking of thermals, the new design incorporates liquid cooling in a slim 11mm profile. Liquid cooling in an iMac. That's workstation tech squeezed into an all-in-one. No throttling during marathon renders. Your creativity flows uninterrupted. Design-wise, this isn't your grandma's iMac. Leaks describe a refresh inspired by the studio display. No more chin bezel, just edge-to-edge glass for a modern, immersive look. Thinner overall, with a stand that's adjustable and Visa mount compatible for studio setups. Colors? Beyond the usual silver. Expect space black, sleek, professional, and fingerprint resistant. Ports are pro-focused too. 4 Thunderbolt 5 ports for 120 gigabits per second speeds. HDMI 2.1 for connecting external displays. An SDXC slot for quick media imports. And even Ethernet up to 10 gigabits. No more dongle life, plug in your RAID arrays. 8K monitors and peripherals directly. And the camera? A 12MP center stage with AI tracking. But rumors hint at an upgrade to 4K for crystal clear video calls or streaming. Let's dive deeper into performance because this is where it gets exciting. Imagine loading a massive Photoshop file with hundreds of layers. The M5 Max's unified memory architecture means up to 128 gigabytes of RAM accessible instantly by CPU and GPU. No bottlenecks. For video editors using Final Cut Pro, leaks suggest export times slashed by 40% thanks to hardware-accelerated AV1 encoding. 3D artists in Blender, real-time ray tracing without proxies. And for coders or data scientists, the neural engine handles large language models locally. No cloud dependency, keeping your data private. But how does it stack up against competitors? Take Dell's XPS Desktop or HP's NV.